Hi, I'm DJ Waldow, and I turned 50 on February 23rd, 2026. So for the next 50 days, I'm sharing one thing that I've learned over the almost 50 years on this planet. Today's thing is opinions are like dot, dot, dot. Back in the early days of social media, I'm talking about 2008, 2009, I was very active on both Facebook and Twitter. Those were really the only two social platforms at the time. And I ran accounts for different companies I worked at, and I had a very prolific, active personal account, not surprisingly. And I remember all the time I would get lots of comments on stuff from mostly people I didn't know. And I would constantly be replying to those comments and constantly be like sort of battling with people back and forth online. And one day it hit me that what people were sharing back with me were really just their opinions. They weren't based in fact, they weren't really feedback, they were just their opinions. And that was the moment where I realized, why am I even bothering to respond? Everyone has opinions. Opinions, as they say, are like everyone has them. Or the cleaner version is opinions are like voices, everyone has them. With the proliferation of social media and generally people becoming more and more comfortable posting online and in public forums, we're seeing opinions really on the rise and facts on the decline. Lots of people post things online and share online their opinions, whether they're Instagram posts of influencers or just the average person sharing their thoughts. And what we have to remember is most of the stuff that people are sharing are not based in fact. They're really just their opinion. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm someone who has an opinion on everything. I'm doing a better job over the years, I hope, of trying not to share my opinion in all places at all times. But I certainly have opinions on most things in the world. But I think what's important to recognize is that when most people are sharing those opinions, they're not necessarily grounded in fact or reality. It's just what they think. And it's important to realize something that's taken me a really long time to realize is that not every opinion needs to be countered with your opinion. Sometimes you can just let people's words sit, allow them to state their opinion without coming back with what you think. Some opinions should be ignored completely. I've had plenty of comments on different social platforms or even in person where they could just be ignored. They're not worthy of a response. And I want to make a key distinction because I've talked in a previous episode about feedback being honest, direct, and actionable. Most of the time, an opinion is not necessarily feedback. It's someone wanting to share their point of view or their perspective, their opinion, not necessarily to give you feedback on something you've done. So, what I try to do now, the frame I try to live in, especially when it comes to stuff online, is I ask myself a series of questions before I respond. One, is this someone I even know? Two, if it's someone I know, do I respect them and do I respect their opinion? Three, is it worthy of having a discussion online or should we take it offline and have that conversation? I think to myself, is this feedback that they're giving me personally or are they just wanting to hear themselves talk or comment or give their opinion? And then finally, I try to ask myself, does responding actually matter? Or am I just wasting my time flipping back opinions? Are we having a conversation or are we just shouting our opinions back and forth? And this applies everywhere. I mean, there are so many people now who are influencers, who are armchair quarterbacks, whether it's sports commentary or vaccines or things that are happening in politics or in the world. People are sharing more and more of their opinions, again, not necessarily facts. And lots of times these opinions are just extra noise. They just get in the way. And so I think we as a society are obligated to do a better job of trying to filter out the noise and really hone in on what's fact versus what's someone's opinion. And like I've said, I'm not immune to this. I have opinions about everything. I voice them often. I try to take less of it or put less of it online and share a lot more in person with people, but definitely something I'm still working through. So the big takeaway for me here is this. Just because someone has an opinion doesn't mean that they're right. It doesn't mean that their opinion is helpful. And it doesn't mean that it needs airtime or your brain space. Opinions are everywhere. Everywhere. You don't have to engage with them. There's no one telling you have to respond. And you certainly don't have to share all of your opinions. All right, that's it. That is thing number 35. Opinions are like ... As always, if you like this episode, please share on the social medias. Please subscribe to go to 50things.co and put your email address in. Like, subscribe, all the things on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you tomorrow for thing number 36. Thank you.